What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cigars and Whiskey for our next review. Today's review, we're going to be stepping back a little bit and visiting a cigar that's been in the industry for quite a few years. I'm going to guess probably over 10 years it's been available, but it is a cigar that I go to from time to time, and it is a very good price point for a cigar. Now, if you haven't had it, it is made by Cinco Vegas, or some people call it 5 Vegas, but I know a lot of the industry calls it Cinco Vegas, and I hope I'm saying it right, I don't know. But it is the Series A, and it is the Epithos, if I'm saying that right. I just call it Series A. But this size is a box-pressed version. It is a 5.5 by 55 ring gauge. It's box-pressed. Now the wrapper is a dark chocolatey wrapper. It is actually Costa Rican. The binder is Nicaraguan, and then the filler is actually Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Honduran. So a little mix of everything. But I do know that this is a great price point for those out there who are watching these videos and looking for cigars they haven't tried, but looking for stuff that might be a better price point for you. Now, I get these cigars from Cigar International.com or CI. All right, everybody, welcome back to the pre-jaw. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do a straight cut on this cigar today. So go ahead, and because it is a box pressed, I actually prefer the straight cut. That's just me. Everybody has their preference. But with that, just cut that off a little bit. Getting a real chocolatey note to the foot of the cigar. Still getting a little bit of a chocolatey profile. Not so real sickly sweet, but just a slight profile that you can notice. And a little bit sweet hay, and just a touch of leather, excuse me, a little bit of cedar. But with that said, we'll go ahead and light it up and get in that first third. So with that, we're going to use a regular torch lighter. I like to toast it before I stick it in my mouth. That sounds weird. Okay. All right. Alright, just toast it up here on the foot. As you can see, the draw is really good. Lots of smoke. It's not too hard of a draw. It's not real soft of a draw either. It's just perfectly right in the middle. I'm getting that chocolate, getting a little bit of a cashew profile. A little bit of pepper off of the floral notes of the smoke. All in all, I gotta say, man, like I said, this is a go-to cigar for me for Cinco Vegas. Now, if you are interested in that sampler that I was looking up, is the Honest Pour Sampler 3, and that's 5 of these cigars and 5 of 3 other cigars, so a total of 20 cigars for about $55. So with that said, that's a good price for going out there if you can't spend a lot. Definitely suggest that. You can't beat 20 cigars for less than $60. I know a lot of times when you go in the shops, you'll spend between 8 and 10 just on one cigar. So if you don't buy online, I suggest you take a look at it. I'm not saying don't support your shops. I still support the shops. But once in a while, you can't find cigars that you enjoy. Sometimes you can find them online and get them at a cheaper price. Alright, with that said, we're going to keep smoking through this. I'll be back with the second third right after this. Alright, everybody, welcome back to the second third of our review of the Cinco Vegas Series A box pressed 5.5 by 55 stick. Now, in this cigar, like I said before, it's got Costa Rican, Honduran, Nicaraguan, and Dominican tobaccos. And they are all long fillers. And there is a little bit of a spiciness and a coffee-like profile to the beginning of this, in about the middle of the second third. But man, I gotta tell you guys, this is a great stick. If you haven't had one, if you buy them individually, like through CI, which is where I got them, they might be a little more But definitely look at the sampler pack. The Honest Pour Sampler 3, I think, is what I purchased, and that comes with 3 other cigars for a total of 20 cigars, and it's like $55. I mean, it's real, and the shipping adds about $5, so about $60. You get 20 cigars. I mean, you can't go in a lot of the shops and pay that kind of money and get a decent cigar. And I'm not saying they don't have good, decent, cheap cigars out there, but I do a lot of the shops. It's just you don't see a lot of. There's a couple of shops in Phoenix that have cheaper price cigars, but a lot of them don't. They stay between the 10 and the 12 mark. That's just because they want to carry certain brands, and when you are a shop and you carry certain brands, there are certain guidelines that those companies require of you as an owner. So sometimes that's why, if you're looking on websites, or I have people who've tweeted information to me on Twitter or have asked questions, a lot of times the cigar prices are dictated by the by the industry. And then if there's certain cigars that you would want to try, sometimes they're limited releases. There's all kinds of politics with some of the cigar brands. I know a lot of shops will try to buy wholesale where they don't have to deal with all that, but the problem with that is, and that's their thing, that's how they want to run their business. But when you don't have reps coming in, you don't have cigar events as often, and you don't get those promos, and you don't get the swag and all the other stuff that they give away at those events. So just a little bit behind the scenes if you're going, okay, I don't care. All right, that was for those who cared. There it was. For those who don't care, we're moving on. But with that said, this cigar, the Cinco Vegas, is definitely an underestimated cigar brand. And I say that because a lot of people will roll their nose when I say the brand. Oh, well, I don't like that one. You might have had a bad experience with a cigar, but don't ever judge a brand based off one cigar. If you haven't tried all their cigars, then I would recommend doing that before you decide, well, I just don't like the brand. There are a few brands out there that I don't care for as much, but I have tried at least, 80% of what they're making. And some of them, I say that, and then I go back in a few years and revisit, and they taste totally different. So, who knows? But like I said, we'll keep going through that. I'll be back with the final third, my final thoughts of the 5 Vegas Series A after this. All right, everybody, into the final third of the Cinco Vegas Series A. Cigar is staying about the same profile consistency throughout the whole cigar. Not a lot of changes in profile. A little bit of notice on strength-wise. Starts at a full medium and then gets a little bit to a almost full strength cigar. But it isn't going to be one that's going to be so overpowering for you. It's about I'd say a strong medium throughout. Again, get a little bit of leather, earth, sweetness, a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of cashew, there's a little cedar in there. But you got to remember, Costa Rican, Nicaraguan, Dominican, Honduran tobaccos. I mean, there's quite a few in there. So if you do like this video, give me a thumbs up. Always hit that like and subscribe button. Do appreciate you tuning in to Cigars and Whiskey. Have a great day. Have a great smoke. And I will see you next time.